Hello and welcome to AutoCad Easy. So today we're doing this wheel trolley. We're putting it up together. So I'm just gonna quickly do that and I'll fast forward the video and I'll just slow it down at the sectioning. Okay. So we have put up all the pieces together. Okay. Now it's time for the sectioning. Okay. Notice that some parts are written two off, one off, two off, three off. Okay. Now, such they tell you that there are three of those parts within one drawing, or there must be three of those parts within that view. I don't know if that makes sense. So, I believe this should have been two off as well, not three, because it's only three sides. I mean, it's only two sides that can be fitted with that view. I mean, with those M10 washes. But nonetheless, let's move on. Um, yes, and these there are two wheel bushes, which you can see one on this side, one on the other side. There's one wheel, there's two pins, one on this side, one on that side. The two washes that I'm speaking about is one at the top, one at the bottom. And then you could add your nut. I believe this is supposed to be two off, not three. But let's move on. Now, what did I do now? Okay, now we're moving on to the hatching. Okay, so we're gonna start with hatching AA. Hatching AA, which is splitting this wheel into two, and hatching BB. So hatching AA says that we must show everything from this side. We're removing everything from this side, meaning that we're gonna go and heave to this guy hatched the frame. I believe that's the frame. So I'm gonna go and hatch the frame. Notice for the major part I always use the default. So for the frame, if we're hatching the frame from here, if we're cutting it in the middle there, meaning that we're actually opening this frame here. Okay, and also over there, and as well at the bottom there, and the side. Okay, and uh, over there, it's this top part. Wait, let's understand first. Let's close it. So this top part is a whole part there. Now we can notice that there's a welded part, right? And there's a welded part at the top, as we are told. So meaning that the hatching was supposed to continue to there, but in different direction. I mean in different angle. Still the same. What did I do here now? I need this hatching. Yes. Um, no, 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 no. Meaning that if we can check over there, this one frame, okay, we're gonna go and use 0, 0 there, and 0 here. Now, meaning that over here, we're gonna go and trim out this guy and trim out that guy, okay? And that's for the frame. And here at the bottom, we're also splitting open. In case we forget, we're having a little cut there. Most people intend to forget these and they do not get full marks. We do section the pin. Yes, before we forget the pin. Yes, I can close now. And then um now we can go to the spindle. Did we touch the spindle on this hatch? No, the spindle wasn't touched. Again, we opened this wheel. So if we open that wheel, we're gonna notice that inside the wheel they are, I believe this is this bobbin. So meaning that if we opening it in the middle, right? This will be a solid line, this will be a solid line, and this will be a solid line, this will be a solid line. But now the hatch will go inside there and inside there. Okay? Meaning that to get less confused, this will be hidden by the wheel, so we're not gonna have it. Just to avoid distraction. All of this is behind the wheel. So we're gonna chop it from there. Okay, right there. Okay, now perfect to avoid distractions. This as well is gonna be a solid line. This be a solid line. This guy and that and that and that. And this guy and this guy. They are all solid lines. Okay. Now, if that guy is a solid line, meaning that the hatch will go from for the wheel alone, this is where the wheel will end. Okay, meaning that we can go and hatch, but we can go as well and change to 0.5 or yes, 0. Let's use 2. After using 2 for this, meaning that we will hatch this guy and we'll hatch this guy. Okay, and we can close that. Okay, now we go to the bush. The bush is a circular thing, meaning that for the bush, this will be a solid line. And we're not gonna have this face, so meaning the hatching will go inside there and inside there. Okay, meaning that for the bush, we're not going to have this guy and not this guy as well. And obviously this guy gets to go. This guy goes. This guy goes. Now this was hidden details because of the bush. So these must be a what? A line type 1. Okay. Now for the bush, meaning that we can go and hedge. Now I'm gonna use half the size of that, half of the frame, which is 0.5. I will go and change the angle. Just change it to this side. Change this guy. Change that guy. Hatch this guy and hatch that guy. Okay. Now for that we are done. And then over there we do not need any disturbance because we won't see it there. The spindle will be at the top. Even over here, the spindle will be at the top. Over here, the spindle is exactly at the top. Now over here as well, this side as well, and this side, and this side. Yes. Now for that, for this, now meaning that, wait, this one was supposed to have a hatch that goes like that. This thing is slow. This hatch is supposed to go like this, and this side was just supposed to change the angle and say 0, and it goes like that. Okay, and then for that, and what else? It's remaining. Over here, I think I created a bit of a mess. Over there, I was supposed to. What did I remove? Oh, I removed the nut. I'm just gonna assume. Oh, that was actually the center of it. I'm not assuming. And over here, this nut, this spindle right runs all the way across. And as well, someone is asking, what do we do here? Over there, we're actually wrong for section or hatching it like that because we're not going to see anything that happens on the inside because this is on the other end, not there. Hope that's clear. Because we do not touch it, it's exactly at the back. So meaning we do not have this guy. Okay. Meaning that for the hatching there, at 1, we come and fill up this place. Yes. Okay. And over here, we can go and trim out and leave the washer open, running freely. So, and we go and trim out the spindle. And since this was the hole inside, this is a little half of the yes, like that. And this hatching is complete. Notice there are multi hatches, but they're all in different sizes and different patterns. So over here, we as well have hatching BB. Hatching BB, which is cutting everything right there. Meaning that we forget about everything that is happening there at the top, right? That's how we are given BB. If it's cut from here and BB is at the top, meaning that we forget everything that's happening on the top. Meaning that we're gonna have to delete this whole guy here at the top, including its spindle. That's why I did not bother adding the spindle here. It was because of that. So I could safely go and delete this part there, right? If I went and delete that part, meaning that I will go and hatch. Remember the hatch that we used inside there? It was 1, okay? So I could start with that hatching. If this is the bush, meaning that this bush will be open there, okay? And will obviously be opened again on the side, okay? Now if it's open on that side, this and that are line type 1, okay? Meaning that this guy and this guy disappears as well, okay? This guy disappears, and then we go to hatch. Hatch, we'll need a half of that, a half, a half there, a half there, a half here, and there as well, okay? Now, if we have done that, now we can go and have this guy, have that guy, and this guy here as what? As line type 1, okay? Now notice for the wheel, everything will run across into there. Now, what is this? This is the edge there at the top, which is also removed, okay? Now, I will go and do the hatching that will run across inside there and inside there, okay? So over here, I'll go and trim out there, okay? Uh, Meaning I can go and hatch here. I can go and hatch there, hatch here as well, hatch there and there, hatch there and there. Oh, notice I didn't change the hatching scale. I must go and change it to 2. We use 2 on the other end. So meaning that 2 is fine. Now for that one, we can go and trim out what's happening here and trim out what's happening there and trim out what's happening here and as well I can go and delete this line and delete this line there, okay? I can also go and delete this line. I do not know why it's showing me that lock, but this must be out, and this must be out as well. But I do not know why it's showing me the log key. So I'm just gonna leave it like that. But bear in mind, this must go. And over here, we're gonna have a hedge here. This is gonna be line type 1, okay? And onto this line type 1, we're gonna have a hedge of the frame. And the frame we used hedging line type 1, which will go onto there, onto here, and there, and there. Now notice that we actually done with what's happening on the inside, but we do not want any disturbance that runs on the spindle, because we're gonna see the entire spindle freely. So okay, now meaning that, oh, the reason why it doesn't want, I do not know what this line was said to be, but this line is actually supposed to be out, but it won't delete, so I won't stress much about it. But this line is supposed to be out, and yes, like that. And as well, we won't have this guy, and have this guy, and this guy, and this guy, because now we don't have a supporting frame. And like that, the pin as well, it's gonna be out.